I specifically told him. No, there it is.
I don't know what in life happened to make you think that this wasn't gonna happen. I don't know what the bro do to not be able to see that this was gonna happen. So where's the surprise? I'm sure why were you surprised?
Next week. It's running block.
They keep stacking. This shit is second nature.
Shedeur Sanders made history yesterday, and the energy in the stadium was unreal. Fans, analysts, and even Shedeur himself couldn't hide the excitement. But the reaction that really shook people came from Deion Sanders Jr. Instead of cheering. He asked one sharp question. Why are you all so surprised? That single line spoke volumes. His tone carried the kind of confidence you hear from someone who always knew this day was coming. To him, Shedeur's success wasn't shocking. It was the result of years of hard work, discipline, and refusing to let fame make him comfortable. And before we go deeper into Shedeur's story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because your support keeps this momentum alive for Shedeur. And let's be real, Deion Jr. was absolutely right. Shedeur Sanders didn't look like a man overwhelmed by the spotlight. No wide-eyed shock, no over-the-top celebrations, just laser focus. Even during the quarter break, when most players are catching their breath or soaking in the crowd, Shedeur simply said, "I'm warmed up." That's it. No drama, no nerves. Just a quiet warning that he was ready for more. It was the type of calm confidence only seen in athletes who know they belong. Ocho Cinco also jumped into the discussion, echoing the same message. He pointed out that what Shedeur did on the field wasn't anything new. It's exactly what he'd been doing back in college. Calm under pressure, reading defenses with surgical precision, and dropping pinpoint throws even from deep in the pocket. Ocho stressed that this wasn't some overnight miracle. This was the same Shedeur Sanders who dominated at Colorado Buffaloes, only now doing it on the NFL's biggest stage. To him, this was proof that greatness doesn't just appear, it simply keeps showing up.
If you watch film, what did you expect him to look like? He looked exactly like he looked in Colorado. He looked exactly like he looked at Jackson State. Calm under pressure, in the pocket, going through progressions, making the right throws.
Then Ocho Cinco went straight at the haters, saying, "You can already predict their next excuse. They'll try to brush it off by saying, 'Yeah, but he did it against the Panthers' second team.'" What they'll conveniently ignore, Ocho pointed out, is that Shedeur himself wasn't even playing with his full first-team offense. He was out there with backups and third stringers, yet still put up this kind of performance. And if he'd had his full starting unit around him, Ocho hinted the numbers would have been downright dangerous. He reminded everyone that David Njoku was on the field, and that alone changes everything. In Ocho's eyes, the critics can spin it however they want, but they can't erase what this young quarterback just pulled off.
Right. The football and say, well, he wasn't going against the Panther starters. Well, obviously, if he's not going against the Panther starters, or if he doesn't have his starters as well, and what he has at his disposal and look that good with the 2s and 3s, and maybe the 4s that are trying to make the team, what do you think is going to happen when he has the main characters in there around him?
Right.
That makes your job a little bit easier. That are a little bit better at their position than those that he's playing with tonight. What do you think going to happen?
Skip Bayless then set the conversation on fire with a bold, unapologetic take. He said Shedeur Sanders didn't just make history. He flat out embarrassed every single NFL team that passed on him, especially the Cleveland Browns, who treated him more like a marketing gimmick than a real starting quarterback. Skip didn't pull any punches, claiming all that draft day drama wasn't random at all. In his view, it was a calculated distraction designed to drag down both Shedeur and his father. But instead of breaking under the pressure, Shedeur turned it into fuel. He stepped onto that field and proved that talent, discipline, and an unshakable belief in yourself can't be denied. For Skip, this wasn't just a rookie debut, it was Shedeur Sanders sending a loud, unmissable message. He's here to change the game, rewrite the story, and shut up every single critic once and for all.
Shedeur Sanders made all those teams that had 143 chances to draft him before he went 144th. He shamed all of them, including the Cleveland Browns, who finally took him in the 5th round. I'm convinced only because the owner, the publicity-starved owner, just wanted some more shock value publicity. Oh, we took him.
This time, even Kevin Stefanski couldn't hide his excitement. Every time Shedeur pulled off another big play, the coach's grin said it all. After the game, Stefanski faced the media and made it crystal clear. Shedeur's leadership was front and center. He said Sanders didn't just put up good numbers. He commanded the entire team with a presence that made an impact from the first snap to the final whistle. While Stefanski gave credit to the whole squad, he also stressed there's still work to do and that their focus now is on sharpening every single detail. And coming from a coach who rarely hands out hype, this was a serious vote of confidence. The kind that makes you wonder if the Browns just found their true franchise quarterback.
Pleased with Shedeur, pleased with the offense. Again, not perfect, plenty that we can work on, but I thought the guys did a really nice job of Shedeur and operating, the guys making plays. So again, a ton to teach off of.
Even with all the praise, Stefanski still stopped short of officially naming Shedeur the clear-cut starter, a move that instantly raised eyebrows. And we all know why. There are bigger forces in this league that nobody likes to talk about. Racism, politics, and quiet power plays that have been holding players like Shedeur back for years. But here's the thing, they can't keep that wall up forever. Not when a player this good is exploding right in front of their faces. Shedeur's mix of skill, laser focus, and relentless drive is too big to ignore. Sooner or later, the league will have no choice but to admit it. A new era has begun. And through it all, Shedeur didn't let the noise or the hype throw him off. No flashy dances, no over-the-top celebrations. Just pure humility and focus. In his post-game interview, he kept it as real as he played on the field, saying the best part of being a quarterback is leading the team. For him, it comes down to one word: consistency. That's exactly what they showed. Staying calm, battling through early mistakes, and finding a way to win. This wasn't just another victory, it was proof of resilience, unity, and true leadership. And Shedeur Sanders was the one steering that ship.
The thing of being a quarterback is leading your team. I'll say definitely the scoreboard. I think we did that pretty good. And just being consistent. Even though if things going our way or not going our way, being able to bounce back and not stay in the hole. Being a quarterback is going to be ups, downs, it's going to be pros, cons, everything. So you just got to stay level-headed through it.
Emmanuel Aiko delivered one of the sharpest breakdowns of Shedeur Sanders' performance. He pointed out how Shedeur's composure never cracked, even when the defense closed in hard. Instead of panicking, Shedeur calmly slid away from pressure, moved through the pocket with surgical precision, and pulled off plays most rookies wouldn't even dare to try. Aiko stressed that this wasn't just about firing lasers downfield. Shedeur proved he's a complete quarterback. He can torch you with his arm, burn you with his legs, and outsmart you with his reads. That all-around versatility is exactly why the buzz around him is getting louder every single day, and why defenses across the league should already be worried.
Talk to the tape. It's 3rd and 9. They're going to come with the 5-man pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man pressure. They're going to play man across the board. Hey, if defense is playing man-to-man, they're turning their back. Shedeur Sanders, he identifies the defense is in man-to-man coverage, so nobody is watching him. He also identifies the defense does not have contain. He escapes out the pocket. On 3rd and 9, he picks up the first down. He slides down to safety. Check for Shedeur Sanders. Let's keep it rolling.
Shedeur Sanders' debut wasn't just a great game. It was the birth of a brand new storyline in the NFL. From Deion Sanders Jr. as confident. Asterisk, why are you all so surprised? Asterisk to Ocho Cinco's fiery defense against the critics. It's clear the people closest to Shedeur never saw this as a fluke. They knew it was coming. Ocho reminded everyone that Shedeur wasn't even playing with his full starting squad, yet still delivered in a way that left the Panthers with no answers. Skip Bayless cranked up the volume, saying Shedeur embarrassed every team that passed on him, especially the Browns, who undervalued him from day one. Even Kevin Stefanski, while cautious about calling him the undisputed starter, couldn't hide his pride in the young quarterback's leadership and presence. And there's an undercurrent here you can't ignore. Political and racial forces in the league still exist, forces that try to slow players like Shedeur from rising. But as his performance proved, they won't be able to hold him back for long. His humble, grounded approach off the field and his laser-focused consistency on it make him the kind of leader teams dream of. He's not just trying to prove people wrong, he's trying to set a new standard. Emmanuel Aiko's breakdown brought it all together. Shedeur isn't just a passer, he's a complete quarterback who can adapt, create, and dominate in multiple ways. Defenses can't prepare for just one style because he'll beat you however he needs to. That's what makes him dangerous, and that's what makes this debut so important. This wasn't just a rookie making a splash. This was the start of something much bigger. A loud statement that Shedeur Sanders is here, he's real, and he's about to change the game. So, what about you? Was this the start of a legendary career, or just one great performance in a long season? Do you side with Deion Jr., Ocho, and Skip in saying Shedeur's success was inevitable, or do you think he still has more to prove before being called the future of the league? And what about the politics and pressure inside the NFL? Will they try to hold him back, or has he already smashed through that wall? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's hear where you stand on Shedeur Sanders' rise.